everyone. This is Lindsay from Just Between Friends, Oakland County. I am trying to make our streaming software work on Instagram this evening too, and just encountering a couple technical difficulties. I think it's working. Okay, cool. I think we're good. So anyway, I'm on Instagram with you guys and also on YouTube and in our Facebook Consignor group. So hopefully that allows many of you to find us and see us in different places, because I know that some of the feedback I've gotten in the last several weeks is that not everybody's on Facebook anymore, right? So many people don't use their Facebooks actively. And so we want to make sure that we're able to put our content out there for everybody so that everyone knows what they need to do to participate with us at our spring sale. So anyway, if you are new to Just Between Friends, welcome. I'm Lindsay. I am one of the co-owners of Just Between Friends Oakland County here in Oakland County, Michigan. And you are here with us tonight because this is our Consignor 101 party. So we do 3 of these per sale season. And this party is just a moment for us to all kind of connect together and for you guys to ask questions that you have about the sale, about things that are happening with your sale prep, about ways that the sale is going to be set up or structured, so on and so forth. And so that's what we're here to do, is just talk about all of that tonight. So, okay, I think I have everything set up. I think we're good to go. So I've already done one Consignor 101 party. Oh gosh, guys, I'm shiny today. Sorry. I have super dry, kind of like rosacea skin. And so I recently moisturized, so you can tell, but whatever. Sorry, sidebar. Okay, so anyway, I did one Consignor 101 party already. We did that like 2 weeks ago. Okay, and so this is our second, and then we'll have one more Consignor 101 party, and that will be not as much like a 101, not as much like a how-to party, but just a touch base and getting all the final things together before our sale, because we are now about 2.5 weeks to drop off. Okay, so that's where we look in our sales cycle. So we still have very many of you joining us new. And so for those of you who are new, I want to take 5 quick minutes and go ahead and explain to you what we do at JBF Oakland County in terms of how you participate in selling your outgrown kids items. Okay, so I failed in this way doing this the first party because my screen was mirrored and you guys could not read what I was writing. This time I think I've got it and it should be okay. So basically what you're doing is you're participating in a giant department store style mom-to-mom sale where we have tons of standards in place to ensure that we create a really high quality product for the people who shop at our sale. And so it's a neat way for myself and my husband to serve the community by putting on this sale for all of you. And really a very special thing for us too, because it's just been like we're very fortunate to be able to lead this sale. There are so many of you out there who are participating who have really been very special to us. And it's super fun to see you guys get excited about the sale and want to help and participate. And we're just really very appreciative of all of you. So Team JBF Oakland County is a big one. It's me and Steven, and then we have a consignor coach, Jessica, who has just been a tremendous asset to us this season to help all of you learn how to do this, selling your things in this department style format. We have a consignor drop-off experience coordinator, Rachel, who is amazing. All of our team is amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to brag about all of them. We have a safety specialist this season who's going to be helping with safety inspection for all of our items that need to go through safety inspection, because one of the things that we pride ourselves on, I cannot figure out what my hair is doing today, guys. I don't know. Anyway, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is bringing to the sale products that are quality and safety inspected, so that our shoppers who are purchasing our items can feel confident that they've made not only a savvy shopping decision by purchasing secondhand, but also a safe shopping decision. So we have a new consignor, a new safety coordinator. And then we've got so many team leads. We've got Krista in toys. We've got April and Erica in clothes. I have got a fantastic set of people who are helping with our registers, Kristen and Bailey. I'm forgetting people, I know I am. I've got Darlene, who is our sort captain, who makes sure that any of the items that don't sell at the sale get back to you at the end of the sale. And there are very many more people on that team, because our team is like 15 people big. And I know I'm missing some of them. I've got Christy in books. Yeah, Stephen reminded me, duh. I've got Christy in books, who's like, oh, she makes books look so great. And Camille, oh my goodness, how could I forget Camille? Camille makes sure that all of your large items get displayed out on the sale floor nicely. And she is awesome. So we're very lucky to have this big team of people here who helps us. So anyway, you'll see those names in the consignor group if you're in that Facebook group, and you'll know that those are some of the people who help run our sale. So you're here to learn how do we do this process, right? So I'm going to make sure comments are on. Sorry, I just realized I did not have the chat turned on. So, okay, I'm good now. All right. So you guys are here to figure out how to sell with Just Between Friends. And for those of you who are new, here's our real quick, like 10,000 foot overview of what you need to do to sell with us this season. So step one, we say, is gather. Okay. So, and I have my screen correct, so you guys should be able to read that. It says gather. So step one is gather, which is going around your house and collecting the items that you would like to sell at the sale. Any outgrown kids item, babies, preschoolers, toddlers, elementary age kids, middle schoolers, teenagers. We take everything. Anything related to babies or kids through age 18, also maternity items, we'll take at the sale, right? So that's everything from, the burp cloths and the bibs that you have in a box down in the basement, to, for the bigger kids, there's sports gear, their old cleats that are still in good condition and gently used, clothes, all of it, right? Even for bigger kids, for older kids, we'll have a junior section. So those like middle schoolers and teenagers who are into adult sizes will have a section for them as well at the sale. So first thing you're going to do is go through your house and gather your outgrown items. Get a laundry basket, pick a room, gather up all the things that you don't need anymore. Thing number two is you're going to sort. Okay, so what we'd like you to do is to make 3 piles. I can sell it at the sale because it passes our quality and our safety inspections, and it meets our acceptance rules, which I'll talk about more. I can't sell it at the sale, and it still has plenty of life left in it, so I can maybe donate it or give it to someone else as a hand-me-down. And then the third item, or the third pile, is this is ready to be, thrown away or to be recycled. So you'll sort out your items. In terms of sorting your items, for our safety standards, we say that items have to pass all of the federal safety standards that you would normally think of when you're looking to purchase any type of even new product. So we have safe sleep standards. Your items have to pass safe sleep standards. Things that are regulated or that there are laws regarding, for example, like baby walkers, they or a crib or a car seat, your items have to pass those safety rules as well. And we have guides on our website that will help you figure out what all of those safety rules are to make sure that you're bringing things that pass them to the sale. In terms of quality, our quality standards include that items are in gently used condition. If you have new items, you can also bring those, and that those items that you have that are in gently used condition still have ample life left in them for another child or family to enjoy. So for clothes, that means please no stains, rips, tears, holes, excessive wear and tear, excessive pilling, knees that are starting to go thin. Those would be items that we would suggest to either be hand-me-downs for play clothes or potentially to go to like textile recycling. For toys, we ask that they be in good condition, that all of their parts and pieces be there, that they're functional, and that if they are electronic items that require batteries, that you have batteries in them. You can get very inexpensive batteries at the dollar store, and so that's what I recommend if you don't have working batteries and you need to replace the batteries in a toy. Books need to have all of their pages, no tears, no marker, no writing in them. Shoes need to be in very good or like new condition, no scuffs, no tears. They need to be clean, including the soles. They can't be like all muddy and icky. And that's more or less it. So just the quality is that basically you're passing on an item that another family is going to find a lot of value from, another item or an item that still has a lot of life left in it, and an item that merits being like resold as opposed to being given away, right? So that is what you do with sort. Okay, so you'll sort your items out, ones that we can take at the sale, ones that need to become hand-me-downs or donates, and ones that are ready to be recycled or tossed away. After that, you're going to prep and price or price and prep. I like to prep and then price. They're kind of interchangeable steps, but I'll explain what they are. Basically, for any clothing items that you bring to the sale, they need to be on a hanger. And for other items that you're going to bring to the sale, you need to ensure that like toys and large baby gear are clean. And you need to ensure shoes are attached to each other, and so on and so forth. So prepping is hanging your clothes on hangers. If you're going to choose to bundle clothes, so like if you had like a set of baby onesies and you'd like to sell like 5 onesies that came together as a set instead of hanging each individual onesie on a hanger, we highly recommend that. It'll save you time. The item will sell better that way. And it'll be less supplies that you require, 1 coat hanger and a couple safety pins as opposed to 5 coat hangers, 1 tag that you have to enter into our tagging system as opposed to 5 tags, right? So we call that bundling. We recommend that you do bundle. So that's part of your prep process. And then for toys, for example, just cleaning them up, making sure that they don't have like any kid gunk, right? Like my son ate spaghetti for dinner, and I was trying to wipe his hands down, and he was like desperately trying to run away from me and like run through the living room. And in my head, I was like, he's gonna get spaghetti on everything, and then I'm gonna have to like scrub it down before I sell it at JBF. Right? So all of the kid gunk needs to be off your stuff. And shoes, if they have like any dirt on them that you've either like laundered them and made sure that they're dry, or you've taken a magic eraser and gotten any like little like scuff marks out of them that are just there. I'm going to come to that comment that just popped up, so I'll give you a minute just about the clothing sort, okay? So that's how prepping looks, right? So you're just making sure that all your items are ready to be sold. I like to do that first, and then I go into our online system and I do all my pricing. I like to do my prep first. I just feel like it's faster for me. If I'm going to be making bundles, it's nice for me to know like, okay, like I had this little bundle and it's already hanging, already ready to go, and now I just have to make 1 tag, as opposed to like, going through my onesies and saying, okay, I got this onesie, I got this onesie, I got this onesie. And then later, as I'm starting to hang them up, going, oh man, I should bundle those. So, right, I think it's faster to prep and then price, make sure everything's ready to go, and then you're going to put a tag on it. So you prep and price. Online in our myjbftags.com website, you'll have a user ID and a password. You'll log in and you'll enter in a nice description of the item that you're going to sell. You can enter up to 9 items at a time. They don't have to be all the same. So it doesn't have to be like all clothes, all toys, whatever. And you can enter 9 items at a time because 9 tags print per page. So we recommend that you do it in bundles of 9 so that you can save your cardstock. This is like recycled cardstock because this sign didn't work out. So I'm dual purposing it. But you'll go ahead and put your prices in. You'll choose on a per tag basis, so on a per item basis, if you're going to donate your item if it doesn't sell. Also, if you're going to allow your item to reduce if it doesn't sell during our full price sale. So basically, you're going to price your items at around, we advertise to our shoppers 50 to 90% off retail. Right. So you're going to price your items. We say a good place to start is 1/3 of retail. And you'll take a little off that 1/3 of retail or add a little to that 1/3 of retail price, depending on what the item is. So if it's a high demand item, a high value item, something like really fancy and popular, an example would be like, I love every toy, or an Up a Baby bassinet, or an Up a Baby stroller, right? Those items, you can charge a little more than 1/3 of retail for them. You might take those items up to 50% of retail. For items that are in lower demand because there's tons of them at the sale, an example would be newborn baby clothes. I think we just get so much newborn baby clothing as gifts that everybody has a ton. And so most people don't buy a lot of it at the sale. So if you're going to bring newborn baby clothes to the sale, you're going to want to price it at something lower than 1/3 of retail because there's going to be a lot and you want your items to sell. You don't want that a shopper to pass over your items because they're priced too high. So that's the way that pricing works. It's a little bit of a finesse kind of thing where you have to think about what is the demand for the item I'm going to sell. And the other thing that we say to our sellers is think about if you were a shopper and you were, looking down the racks. Don't think about it like, how much can I get? What's the max I can get for my item? Think about it. If you were a shopper and you found your item hanging on the rack, would you be super excited to get that great deal? And if you can say yes, then your price is, in the right place, right? If you can say, ooh, like, I don't know if personally I'd pay that much for it, but I'd like to get that much for it, your price might be a little high. And if you say, oh my gosh, like, heck yeah, I'm going to I wish there were 300 of these, like, I'm going to buy every single one, your price might be a hair low. So if you're worried and you need a little bit of help or reassurance about your price, there's 2 things you can do. The first thing you can do is reach out to our consignor coach, Jessica, and ask her opinion. That's what she's here for. You can email her, Facebook message her, or text message her, and I'll put all of her contact information in the comments. Or actually, I'll ask Steven to do that for me. He'll put it in the comments so that you have that information right there. You can always reach out to me as well. You can ask somebody else in the group. So first thing you can do is phone a friend, ask a friend. We are your friends. So ask us what we think the price should be. And somebody in the group, either a seasoned seller or Jessica, our consignor coach, or myself will help you figure out the right price for your item. And the other thing you can do if you're like, oh, I just don't quite know, our pricing system allows you to price in 25-cent increments. So if you're stuck, you're like, I'm between $3 and $4. I hate to price it for $3. It'd be really nice to get that extra dollar. I don't know what to do. Go for $3.50, right? So you can price in 25-cent increments. So sometimes I'll drop a 25-cent on something if I'm like, oh, like $2 feels low. I'm going to go $2.25. Now I feel a little bit better, right? At least I've paid for my coat hanger if you're not using a free coat hanger, right? So that's how I like to think about pricing, using my 25-cent points. So especially the 25 and the 75. I think that those actually work a little bit better than to split it right on the 50. So I like to use 25 and 75. So if I'm like 3 feels a little low, like I'm going to bump up to 325. I'm like, oh, 4 feels a little high. I'm going to bump down to 375. Okay. So that's a nice little hack you can use. And that should give you some confidence with your pricing. Here's the other thing I want you to think about. And I want you to think about this, especially through the wholesale. Okay. Right. At the end of the day, if you have a couple of items that maybe could have been sold for $1 more, and you don't make that dollar on those items because you priced your items a little low, you blessed a family in the community that was super excited to buy your item. And that's probably worth that dollar, just that good feeling. That's one of the really special things about Just Between Friends. We're a community, and I'm like getting teary now, so just ignore me and my emotionalness over here. But we're a community of families helping families. And really, at the end of the day, you can get really anxious and nervous about it and go, I don't know, did I price too low? Like, I'd really like to get all my money's worth. And yes, like I'm with you. I like to get my money's worth too, because you, our sellers, put in a fair amount of time to prepare your items and to bring them to our sale. And we respect that. That's why we have our consignor coach. And that's why we make ourselves available to you to help you with pricing. And two things can be true at the same time, right? And if at the end of the day, you're like, man, I could have made like 10 or 15 bucks more if I had priced my items a little higher, that's 10 or 15 bucks that basically you blessed the community with, right? So we like to encourage this culture and this attitude that our possessions are kind of loosely held and freely given, right? And I know that what we're talking about is like earning, some money so that you can use that for other things that are important to you in your life, like being able to buy the next season of stuff affordably, right? And so we all get nervous about it because we want to do our very best. And this is a community of families helping families, and you, by participating, by choosing to sell your stuff with us, instead of going to Facebook Marketplace or something where you could potentially do a whole lot more work and maybe get a little bit more money for it, you're choosing to support other local families. And so that's really meaningful. And I hope that you see how special that is, that this community is, and that there's value to you in that. So that's my little spiel for pricing, right? So then after you have prepped and priced, the last thing that you're going to do is drop it off. And I know I have some eager beavers in here who want to know all about what drop off is going to look like. And so I'm going to answer those questions for you. Okay. So you bring your items to the sale, you'll drop them off at the sale. We will, help you get the items to the floor in a department style format. It's not tables like a traditional mom to mom sale. Your stuff is commingled with everybody else's stuff. We have a giant department store that pops up, and we bring all the shoppers and we sell all the things, and then it pops down again in the course of 5 days. So super, super crazy and fun. But it's very exciting. So in terms of drop-off, the way drop-off will work, we have a drop-off, a consignor drop-off experience coordinator. That's Rachel. And she is working on some of the documents that we're going to have available for you a week before drop-off to give to you, including like the floor plan and a flow of what you need to do to drop your stuff off. So here's the 10,000 foot overview right now of what it'll look like. Okay, you're going to check in at the check-in tent, which will be outdoors, outside of the venue, weather provided. If the weather is rainy, we'll move that into the venue. But we're going to take it outside the venue this time so that you don't enter the crazy and get instantly overwhelmed. And more really because JBF Oakland County is in an air pressurized dome, soccer dome. Okay. And what that means is that when you enter our air pressurized soccer dome with a large load of items, you have to go through an airlock, which means you have to go through a double set of doors. And after you go through the first door, it has to be closed before you can go through the second door. Otherwise, you go into a wind tunnel, which is crazy and not super fun, because what'll happen is all the pressure from that air pressurized dome will start rushing out the wind tunnel, right? Or out of both of those doors when they're open together. So what happens then is that sometimes entering the dome is like a one person through the door, and we have to wait like 10 or 15 seconds. And then the next person goes through the door, then we have to wait 10 or 15 seconds. So we found last season that created a little bit of like a log jam right there at the door, because then people get on the other side and they're like, what, where am I going to go? What do I do? What? And we don't want there to be a bunch of like backlog right there at the door. So consignor check-in will hopefully be outside. If not, it'll be right by the door. And then that way, we'll have a better traffic flow in that area for you guys, so that it's easier for you, because I really want your drop-off experience to be smooth. Like, we're spending a lot of time and energy on making your drop-off experience smooth this season. I like to make people happy, and if I see happy faces at drop-off, I know I did my job. So that's what we're working for. So you'll check in, you'll get your instructions, and generally speaking, you're going to take clothes in to the dome to be inspected. You'll need to stay and be present during inspection. We'll have clocks to make sure that inspection is running on time. And your clothing inspection should not take more than 10 minutes. It should be pretty fast, unless you have like double or triple load of clothes, then it might take a little bit longer. But we'll do clothing inspection at drop-off. We do this at JBF Oakland County because very many of us, like 75% of us, are completely new to JBF in the last 2 sales seasons. Okay. And so we want you who are new to have a friendly and welcoming experience where you get good feedback on how you prepped your items, so that when you participate with us next season, you feel even more confident. And we feel like if we're able to inspect your items at drop off, we can give you that feedback face to face, and your experience and your confidence with the process will be even better for next sales season. Whereas if we didn't inspect your clothing at drop off, then potentially when you come to pick up at the end of the sale, you're going to receive items that say no thank you on them, and you won't necessarily know why, or have a lot of real good feedback as to why those items weren't accepted. And that can just be really frustrating, and I don't want people to have that kind of frustrating experience. So we will inspect items at drop off. We'll be inspecting clothing, shoes, and any items that go into the Mommy Mart in particular. The other reason we do that is, like, if you brought some shoes and say like you forgot to use your magic eraser, but it would take like 15 seconds to just give them a little and then they would be perfect for the floor, we'll have a magic eraser there and we can help you do that, so we can get your item to the floor instead of just saying, nah, never mind, we'll have to take it next sale, right? Because you worked hard to bring your items. We want to be able to provide you support and make sure that we can get as much of your stuff to the sale as possible. So first thing you do, you're going to go through clothing inspection, clothing, shoes, Mommy Mart. Mommy Mart items are being inspected to ensure that they adhere to our Mommy Mart guidelines. And I do have Mommy Mart guidelines up on our website. Stephen will link that. He'll go find that Mommy Mart page, and then he'll link that in this comments thread. After you've done clothing inspection, you'll put your clothing on the racks. So as you are packing up your clothes to bring them to the sale, you're going to organize by size. You're also going to organize by categories within each size, because at JBF Oakland County, we do something called hyper merchandising. Okay. So the idea of hyper merchandising is that if you went to the 4T clothes, you want to be able to shop shirts, pants, pajamas, outfits, athletic apparel, and so on and so forth, right? For girls' dresses, we split them up by category because, again, we're a new young sale, and like very many of our shoppers are new to Just Between Friends as well. And I ask you, as a completely new to Just Between Friends shopper, you've never been here before, right? Say you're a new mom, you're shopping for new baby clothes. You come in and you see 75 linear feet of baby clothes and none of it is sorted out, right? And so you now have to touch every single item down 75 feet of linear or 75 linear feet of baby clothes. Do you get overwhelmed? And do you go through all of it? I think some of us are like thrifty people who love the thrill of the hunt, right? And we go through all of it. I think most of our shoppers are different from us. So if you're that thrill, like loves the thrill of the hunt, loves the dig, like enjoys that process, that's great. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed that process. And we're going to try to make it easy for the people who don't like that process because I suspect that most people don't like that process. So the way that we'll organize out clothes is by the size and then by categories. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of the categories. We may add one or two here or there. If we add or change things, we will help you get your stuff to the right place on the floor. So don't panic. I don't think Lori Barron's watching this, but she got my reference if nobody else did. So don't panic if you don't perfectly organize your clothes because there will be help. We will help you. Okay. So generally, you're going to organize by size, and then you're going to organize tops, bottoms, outfits. Okay. And what is an outfit? It can be a pant and a top set. For some of the smaller baby clothes, it can be like a romper. Like I was doing baby clothes today and I have so many like rompers, like the top and bottom with the snappies around the legs, right? All together. That would be an outfit. Pajamas. Girls is going to have dresses. And then athletic. I did not spell athletic. Oh, I missed my T. Okay. Athletic. Okay. So tops, bottoms, outfits, pajamas, dresses, and athletic. What's in athletic? Like a dance leotard, baseball pants, that kind of thing. We're going to keep those items in the clothes. We will have a separate sports section for cleats and then like things like baseball gloves, like street hockey. What are they called? Poles? He's ignoring me. I don't know. The street hockey things, and all of the other sports stuff. But this is going to be what the sections are, generally speaking. Sorry, if I get distracted, it's because I'm seeing like comments come in and I'm trying to read and talk at the same time, and I can't do that, obviously. So a couple of other things that we will have in completely separate places. We'll have a swim, and we'll have a I don't know what you call it, like teams, so we'll have a swim section at the front of clothes. We'll have teams like Michigan, Michigan State, Detroit Lions, Tigers. If you have Tigers apparel, bring it and have it pulled apart. You don't need to organize these things by size. You just need to have them all in little bundles. But opening day is April 5th, which is during our sale. So we're going to have like a nice little sports section and try and feature as much Tiger stuff as we get there. So any of your like team sport apparel, make sure that you got that, kind of pulled out. If you forget, it's okay. We'll go through the racks later and we'll make sure that we get as much stuff as we can put into the right places. And then we'll have boutique. Okay. And every year people want to know what brands go in boutique. So there'll be boutique boys and boutique girls. Now, I don't have an exhaustive list of what all goes in boutique. I'll try to make you one, time provided. Okay. But I want you to think it's like usually they're online stores where the price point is notably higher than it is at like Carter's or Target, right? So some of the examples are Hannah Anderson, Tea Collection, Bowden, Jewels, you guys know, like crew cuts, mud pie, Matilda Jane. Those are some of like the big ones we see. Little Sleepies, Kicky Pants, like any of the bamboo retailers who sell like the expensive bamboo clothes, right? Those are examples of boutique companies. And so those items will separate out because many of our shoppers come looking just for those boutique items. And so when we have them in a special place, they tend to sell really well. And also, if there's a shopper who's not familiar with boutique items and they don't really know that, oh, a Hannah Anderson item is an heirloom quality item that costs more to begin with, and they see it next to Cat and Jack, they might not understand why you've priced it higher. So when we put things out in boutique, it helps them to sell better at the higher prices that you've asked for them. Okay. So that's how clothes will look. So you'll do a 10-minute clothing inspection, and then you'll take 15 or so. I can't do it backwards. You'll take a few minutes and you'll put your items out on the sales floor. It should be pretty smooth and easy, and it will be smoother the more organized you can be. So this is generally like the way that you want to break your stuff up. I like to just bundle things with like rubber bands, hair ties from the dollar store work. Today, I couldn't find my rubber bands. I don't know where they went. So I actually just had painter's tape, and I was just taking like 10 coat hangers and just wrapping them in painter's tape because that'll come off real fast and easy, right? And so that's how I was making my bundles. I bundle everything in size chunks. So like if it was like 2T, I'll put it all together, and then I'll just have it like organized out into those breakdowns, like tops, bottoms, pajamas, whatever. And that way I don't have each one like individually broken out, but I can just like you can see it like as you're putting them on the racks, right? So it should be easy for you if you choose to organize that way. After that, you will do a zone drop or drop zone drop off of all of your other stuff. So except Mommy Mart. You'll put Mommy Mart kind of like on the racks and on the tables. Mommy Mart is very small, so it's really quick and easy for you to drop your stuff off. There's a 10-item limit per Mommy Mart, so we don't see a lot of stuff in it. And there will be a few tables and a couple racks for you to hang and put your items there in Mommy Mart. Everything else is zone drop. That means at toys, there's going to be a bunch of boxes, and they're going to be labeled loosely like infant toys, toddler toys, preschool toys, school age toys, and you're just going to drop and get out of there. Okay. And then we'll have people who are helping at the sale who will be going through those boxes and placing everything out on the tables. We think it's going to actually be faster and result in a cleaner and neater looking floor for us by having you just drop and us just place, so that it's not like 200 sellers all trying to put all their stuff on the same table, and it's constantly getting like rearranged and shuffled around. It'll be a little bit cleaner that way. If you're doing infant essentials, we might break down the categories a little bit more just to make it smoother for us, but it'll be like feeding, burp cloths and bibs, blankets and bedding. Like there'll be boxes just like that, and you're just going to drop your stuff and go. You don't have to fool with putting it out on the floor, any of that. Okay, so that's what drop off looks like. Loose 10,000 foot overview. You'll get real detailed information 1 week before the sale, which will include a drop off guide. All of these details written out. That's going to be in a guide. It's going to be emailed to you. You're going to have it at drop off as well. We'll make sure that information is everywhere for you. We are investing in, I think they get delivered. Steven told me that they're coming on Tuesday. So I don't want to overpromise because I'm terrified that they won't show up, but we did invest in some platform carts that should make it much easier for people who've got totes to be able to put a couple totes on a platform cart and take them through our airlock too, so that you only have to make 1 or 2 runs in and out of the dome, because I know that was hard for people last time if they had a lot of stuff that they were coming to sell, to have to make 5 or 6 trips in and out of the dome. It was hard, and we want to make that easy for people this time around. So we have some special carts that you'll be able to borrow to use to go unload your car and then take everything into the dome to make life better for you. Somebody likes it. I'm glad. I can't see on Restream who it is. It just says Facebook user, but I'm glad that somebody's happy about that. So that's how our sale experience looks. I'm going to go back and answer a couple of questions that are here in the chat before I move on to some tagging tips. So let me go back and see what people have been asking. So I think we answered this one. I have clothes sorted by size, so I need to sort further. And the answer is it will help you. Yeah. So, and let's talk about this for a second. So it will help you. Okay. And 99%, 95% of the advice that we give you about how to prep for the sale is just that. It's advice. And I want you guys to understand that no seller does everything perfectly. And we're not mean green ogres. We're here to help you have a good sale experience. So we offer recommendations. And at the end of the day, if you've already done something a certain way, like you've already prepped some clothes a certain way, or you've already sorted a bin out a certain way and you don't want to go back to it, it's okay. It's all right. There's grace. Like things don't have to be done to a T our way. We just make recommendations to help you have the most success and have the easiest time. So please take most of what we say with a grain of salt. There are a couple absolutes, like be careful with the tagging gun. That's an absolute. But most of the things we say, like I have clothes sorted by size, so I need to sort further. It'll help you. If you don't have time to, you can do it when you're putting them on the racks. It might take you 10 extra minutes to drop your clothes off, and that's okay as long as you have 10 extra minutes, right? So that's why we're telling you now so that you can plan your time. I explained hyper. Yeah, so let's see. Okay. So I'm going to address this real quick. I think Stephen is telling you guys we will have a gender neutral section. You don't have to sort your stuff out gender neutral. We'll go ahead and we will stock that section ourselves. So we have a couple hours between the end of seller drop off and when we first start getting shoppers in the building, and we use those couple hours to make sure everything is pristine, as good as we can get it to be. And one of the things that we'll be doing is going through that 0 to 12 month sizes and pulling some things out that are gender neutral and putting them in the gender neutral section right next to the girls and the boys. So that is a nice thing to do for those moms who want to come shop at our sale, but they don't know the gender of their baby yet, or just moms who have a preference to purchase gender neutral clothing because they want to be able to use it for multiple kids, even if it's like boys and girls. And it also makes the racks a little bit more shoppable in the boys and especially the girls, because we do get a lot of that smaller size baby stuff. So if we have a nicely stocked gender neutral section, that's just going to make the experience smoother and more comfortable to shop over in the girls and the boys sections. So you don't have to worry about that. If you forget to pull out sports and swim, we'll be doing the same thing with sports and swim and boutique. So all of those sections, gender neutral, sports. When I say sports, I mean like the team athletic apparel, like Michigan State. I don't mean like baseball pants. Gender neutral, the team athletic apparel, boutique clothes, and swim. If you forget to pull your stuff, we'll be kind of combing the racks to make sure that we get all that stuff and we can keep it in those areas, because we have some plans to make that really nice so that we're able to sell all of your clothes that are in those categories. So, let's see. And am I going to send out an email explaining this? Yes. Probably not all the whys of why we do it, but yes, all of this is going to go out in an email as well, because I know that not everybody's on Facebook and not everybody is going to watch this video. Even if I say at 43 minutes and 33 seconds, Lindsay talked about sending out an email about hyper merchandising, right? So yes, totally. And so somebody asked, what percentage does JBF keep? Can't find it anywhere. So when you bring items to Just Between Friends, you are paid 60 to 70% for your sold items. Whether it's 60 or 70% depends on whether or not you choose to help at the sale by working a 4.5-hour helper shift. If you are a valet seller, you earn less. We pay out For the valet sellers, we pay out 65%, of which 45% goes to you, the seller, and the other 20% goes to the mom who tagged your stuff and did all that work for you. And we don't keep any of that payout percentage. So it is 60 to 70% for everybody. Okay. And
I can't figure out how to attach your Molly Mark thing, but I pinned it to the top of the group.
let me see. Yeah, so you take home 70% of the sold price if you're doing the helper shifts. And that's pretty good. I mean, if you go to like a stand up or like a standalone consignment store, you're going to get pennies on the dollar. So I think 60 to 70% is pretty good. Okay, somebody asks, if we have hangers that have those plastic size things on them and we can't get them off, but it doesn't match the actual size of the item, can we still use them? Yeah. And don't even worry about getting that thing off. Just leave it there. Don't waste time on that. Yep. Does not matter. All it matters is that you have it on a hanger. And ignore the size that the hanger says. Do not worry about that. And you do not even have to do this. That is like way above and beyond. You don't have to do that. Okay, so I think I answered all the questions so far, and thank you. That's very nice. That's the nicest thing anybody said to me today. But I have two kids under 4, so All right. Okay, so let's talk about preparing some of your items for the sale. Okay, so when you are tagging items, I'm gonna show you pre-done things tonight. I'm not gonna go through with the tag gun because I think there's a bunch of examples of that already on the Facebook group. There's a whole nother hour-long video on the YouTube. My first Consignor 101 was on the YouTube channel. And I'm trying to figure out how to download a couple of things I did last season from Facebook and put them on YouTube so that those of you who don't join us on Facebook can still see. So I will be working on that. But I've got a couple items here. When you prepare items for the sale, we ask that you put all the items on a coat hanger that when you're looking at it, it looks like a question mark. Okay. This is so that everything hangs the same direction and is always facing forward. And so the shopper can just slide the items and see all the things. Okay. So here I have a set of boys' little like tank top rompers for the summer. And this is a 3-pack. Okay. And I have used one coat hanger to put all 3 of these together because it, like these are Carter's brand. They're not like particularly fancy. Or actually, no, they're not. They're one of them is Carter's and one of them is Little Co. So we'll talk about all of this. This is a lot of good stuff here. Okay, so I have made this bundle. It wouldn't make sense to put these like all 3 separate items on the racks because I'm going to need 3 coat hangers. I'm going to have to make 3 tags, and one individual item probably not going to sell it for a lot of money, right? So I'll make 1 coat hanger. I'll use 2 safety pins to make sure that all these items stay together, and I'll just make 1 tag, and I'll call it a 3-pack of tank top rompers for boys, right? Okay, so what I've done, this first item, the first one that you see in the front with the succulents on it, is on the hanger, okay? And then I faced the front of the back one facing out so that when I look at the back side, I see the front of another item. I think that's a real high touch thing. If you didn't do it that way and you have already done a bunch, don't worry about it. This is an example of like a best practice or the nicest way to do, and you will survive just fine if you did it differently. So do not panic, okay? But I faced this one out, all right? And then I've got one in the middle that you can see as well. And I have taken I've taken safety pins. I try to always go through a seam. It's best if you go through a seam. If you can't, and you're using a safety pin, it'll be okay because safety pin holes do wash out in the wash. They are engineered to do that as long as they're not huge safety pins. Okay, I've gone through the seam here, through the seam of the second one, and I've safety pinned through the first. This one. I've safety pinned through the first item as well there into the seam, closed it, and the safety pin is also actually physically through the bar too. Okay, so that is going to make these three little pieces all stay together really nicely. It's not going to fall off the hanger either. They're staying there, they're staying put. And this is a cute little bundle that I can sell maybe for, like I would say anywhere between like $2.50 and $4 for like these three things would be the price I would sell them for. This front one is a brand called Little Co. I'm not super familiar. Oh, it says by Lauren Conrad. So it's probably from Kohl's, right? And then the back two are Carter's. So I have mixed brands here. They are all 3-month, okay? And that's important. It's fine to mix brands if they are all the exact same size. And I do think like as close to the exact same size as possible is helpful. So I would probably not bundle three together. If this front one was like a 3 to 6 month, I would probably only bundle ones that say like 3 months, just because I don't totally understand how tailoring works. And I want to make sure that, the items that I'm putting together in a bundle are all the same size. So my two Carters are both 3-month. And then this one in the front is also a 3-month. And so I have a great summertime little bundle here for a boy. Okay, that is an example of how to hang, how to use a safety pin, how to bundle. You would do the same thing to do an outfit with like pants and a shirt. If you don't have access to like those hangers where it's got like the shirt and then the pant bottom, you can do it like this for pants. So the next thing I have is a pajama set. Okay, and this brand is called Petite Lem, which is like a fancier brand. I don't know if you technically would call it boutique, but it's a more bougie, expensive brand. So I've priced it for $375. It is 9-month, which is a smaller size. And normally I would probably price 9-month pajamas for a little bit less. But since it's like one of those like organic cotton that was like somebody sage smudged it and made sure that the cotton only ate like organic water from, blessed by, like Athena, or I don't know. It's like, it's fancy, right? So anyway, I'm too dry to make jokes. I should stop. It's not funny when I make jokes. So it's a cute little pajama set, shorts, and then a top. I have put it on a hanger. I've taken safety pins and gone into the seam as best I could. I've kept my safety pins on the inside of the fabric, right? And I have put the safety pins around the bar of the coat hanger so that nothing can slide off or go anywhere. And this is a pretty secure and cute little bundle here, okay? I have hung my tag with a tagging gun through the actual tag, okay? Whenever there is a physical tag on an item and you're going to use a tagging gun, you should use the physical tag on the item, okay? Always, 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 100% of the time. If there's not a physical tag on the item, then you can use an inner seam like this, as long as you're staying in the inner layer of that fabric and not puncturing your tagging gun needle into the outer layer of that fabric on the backside. The reason is that unlike a safety pin, a tagging gun will leave a hole that is permanent. A safety pin may leave a small hole that will come out in the wash. 90% of the time, 95, 98% of the time, safety pin holes come out in the wash. A tagging gun, it's a bigger, higher gauge needle, and it will break the threads, and so you will have a permanent hole. These safety pins I'm all mirrored, or I'm not mirrored today, and it's throwing me off. That's why mirroring is done, I guess, so that you can see where you are in space. These safety pins are size 2 safety pins, which means they're 1.5 inches. That's the size we recommend. I don't recommend a higher or a bigger safety pin because the gauge on that bigger safety pin is a little thicker. It's a thicker needle, and you start to run a higher risk of potentially tearing or like putting a little hole in a garment, and then it would be not accepted, right? Which is sad. So, but these are number 2 safety pins, which are 1.5 inches. You go ahead and you tag right through the tag on the garment. You can use an inner seam to tag. The third place you can tag is in the 4-corner seam of the armpit, because when you insert a tagging gun needle into that 4-corner seam of the armpit right there, it actually it doesn't even pierce the fabric. It just goes between the fabric, and then your tagging gun stays there. So I have attached this tag with a tagging gun. You do not have to use a tagging gun if that makes you nervous or you just don't want to buy one. The way you would attach this tag is you would take a safety pin and you would just pin it to the garment around the left upper area. We always want it around the left upper area because when this item hangs on the racks, the left upper area is going to be the part that is immediately visible to the shopper. So if you have your tag over on the other side of the garment over here, they're not going to be able to see it, and they might just skip your item because they don't want to waste time trying to figure out how much it costs. So always make it easy for your shoppers. Assume that the shoppers are lazy and put your tag over here, and your item will sell better. And like I said, you just safety pin it right there, right through the shirt, and that would be perfectly fine. We never take tags with tagging guns and put them right through the shirt because that will leave a hole. And then your beautiful item that you worked so hard to prepare and bring to the sale is going to become a no thank you item. And I'm going to cry with you because it makes me so, so sad. There's a hole in that item now, and so it doesn't meet our quality standards. So please don't use a tagging gun and just poke right through the fabric. Make sure you're always using the actual tag or an inner seam or the arm. It's so hard when I'm not mirrored, or the armpit. Okay, that is thing number 2. So 2 items that I can show you. I have a couple other things. Okay, so here is a non-clothing item that we're hanging. I highly recommend anything fabric. Another thing, if you have already done it differently than what I'm about to say, it's going to be okay. You don't need to go back and change it. It's going to be okay. Okay. All right. I recommend anything that is fabric, like this nursing cover, bibs, burp cloths, bedding, sheets, changing table covers, any of those types of things, that you do not put them in a Ziploc bag. We have hanger clips, and we have many, very, very many of these clear plastic hangers at the sale that we will provide to you to help you hang your item. Okay. So we like to just fold things like this, have a tag on it, and then it's super easily shoppable. And the shopper who's interested in purchasing this item can look at it, can see if there's any stains, can kind of really inspect it and decide that they like it. When you, with the very best of intentions, put your item all bundled up really pretty in a Ziploc bag, it's very hard for a shopper to inspect it to make sure that it doesn't have any stains on it, or that they actually like it. And so we see that items in bags tend to sell less well. Okay. If you've already done it in a bag, don't worry. If we're really worried for you when it comes to drop off, we're nice people and we'll just help you take it out of the bag and put it on a hanger, and we'll all be good to go. So shoes. Okay. So these Cat and Jack shoes, they have to be attached to each other. You don't want one shoe to become renegade from the other because people won't buy one shoe. Most people won't buy one shoe. I haven't met anybody who does yet. So Cat and Jack, they're nice and new. You know, I should probably hit these with a little, I'm really particular about my shoes. I should probably hit these with a little magic eraser, but they just have like a dusting of, you can see it more on the bottom, like it's like not even, it's like a stain from like walking on asphalt. That's fine on the soles. It's not actually physically dirty. Like as I wiped my hand on it, like there's no dirt coming off. It's just like a stain from the sole. But if I took a magic eraser and just wiped that down for like 30 seconds, they will look like almost brand new. Magic erasers on shoes like this are wonderful. And so that's what we would do with shoes. I like to take like the loops on the back and either take a zip tie or a piece of yarn, cotton yarn or string. I like to just poke a little hole. You can either just poke a hole with scissors, or you can use like a hole punch, whether it's a 3-hole punch or like a 1, you can like work it so that you get a little hole punch in there. And then I just put my zip tie or my string through like that. So the same one that's holding the 2 shoes together is got the tag on it right there. Okay, so that's how shoes work. And that is one that is a good candidate for me to just take a magic eraser to and just spruce it up a little bit. It's like, this is like really on the border, this one. Like if it ended up on the rack, like people would buy it and it would be fine. I'm real particular about what I bring to the sale because I set the example. So I probably need to clean these ones up a little bit. Things like sleep sacks. When you're organizing for the sale, they're pretty much the same as, clothes in the sense of like how you prepare them. We will put things like sleep sacks, blankets, like swaddle blankets, all those types of things in a section right behind girls' clothes called infant accessories. So be prepared when you're packing to put these types of items in infant accessories and not in clothing. That's infant accessories is the drop zone. So you'll just be able to just give them to the person who's working there and then head on off on your merry way. You won't have to stop and stay. Swim diaper. Here's an example of another like textile that you're just going to bring it to the sale like this. It's got a tag on it and that's all you have to do because we've got like 2,000 little hanger clips. It's just literally like one hanger one little clip with like a hanger on it. And so it'll just get clipped here and it'll get hung up and that'll be the swim diaper. So this is all you have to do. No need to put it in a Ziploc bag. It'll sell better this way. Toys. Oh, here's one more before I go further. A short bundle. I like to show shorts and pants every time because this is one of the things that, like, again, if you've already done it differently, it's going to be okay. This is for the next sale for you to learn just because it might help your sell-through rate a little bit. So whenever you're hanging shorts or pants, you can use a regular hanger like this, and you're always going to take safety pins and suspend your shorts or pants from the top bar of the hanger, not the bottom bar of the hanger, right? Always from the top bar. The reason is that when you hang them from the top bar of the hanger, they can't really like slide around and get too funky. When you hang them from the bottom bar of the hanger, both safety pins will like slide and the shorts will end up like hanging like from the corner in a kind of jumbled up mess. And in that case, I think shoppers are just likely to just slide your item right on by. Even if it was an awesome item, they won't look at it because it just looks kind of messy on the coat hanger. So always put your safety pins on the top bar if you can remember. I did a little bundle here because I had 2 shorts of the same size. I think that these are even the same brand and they just didn't have any outfit that they went with. So I just made a little bundle and said, here's 2 pairs of shorts. So people love that. You'll get tons of shoppers buying that kind of stuff. Toys. I have this little drum set here. We recommend that if you have to attach a tag to a toy, you either use clear tape or painter's tape. For books, you're always going to use painter's tape because clear tape, whether it's Scotch tape or clear packing tape, it will tear the book, right? Clear packing tape would work okay in this case. If you have painter's tape available already, I think it's a little bit better to use painter's tape because it will not leave any sticky residue on this toy when the person who purchases it takes it off. The painter's tape will never leave a sticky residue. Painter's tape will not damage the cover of a book, whereas clear packing tape or clear Scotch tape can and usually will if there's paper. Clear packing tape, if there was like, this is not a painted surface, this is just plastic, but if there was like a painted decal on this toy and you put clear packing tape over it, when the shopper takes that tag off, they're probably going to accidentally tear the decal or the sticker or the painted like little picture off of this toy too. And that would be a big bummer. So for example, like these little words like follow the beat, like clear packing tape over those words that are just painted there, they may just come right off. Or if there were like those stickers that were decorating the toy, packing tape over a sticker will tear the sticker. So if you've already got painter's tape on hand, we recommend painter's tape. It works the best. And if you've already done it the other way, it's okay. All right, you learn for the next sale. Here's an example of clear tape over an item. This is one I did because I didn't want the clear tape to come up here on this plastic part. I don't remember why. And now that I look at it, it would have been fine. But anyway, I did tape over my barcode here with the clear tape. It's not the end of the world. And all of our register personnel who are ringing out registers will survive. It'll be okay. But do you see how there's a little bit of like a shine because I put this piece of clear tape over the barcode? It does make it a tiny bit harder to scan. So if you are able to put your clear tape up here across the top and avoid the barcode, we appreciate it. If you do it the wrong way like me, I think I just did it because I was thinking like I just had to tape it on this piece of wood here. We'll all survive and it will be okay. If you do it the other way, it's not the end of the world. We can always just type this number into our point of sale system if we can't get the code to scan. And the last thing I have to show you is a large items ticket. So if you, oh, wait, sorry, one more thing. Here's another example of fabric. Like this was like a bib set for my son. So like this is like 4 little bibs. I think he didn't even use these. And it came with like 2 pacifier straps and then it all came in this cute little carry bag. You may be tempted to put it in a Ziploc bag. If you've already put it in a Ziploc bag, it's fine. If you haven't already put it in a Ziploc bag, I've just attached it all together with a safety pin and then I've tagged it. And when I get it to the sale, we'll put one of those hanger clips on it and it'll all be right there out and visible so that somebody can touch it. They can look at all the patterns. They can see that it's like brand new and it'll sell for sure. Whereas if it was in a plastic bag and it was harder to see, people might be less likely to purchase it. One thing you can do, these are cloth diapers. I put these in a plastic bag because there was a reason. Like I tried to hang them and I couldn't make it work or something. I can't remember exactly what. But there was a reason I put them in a plastic bag. And so I put them in a plastic bag. I put my clear tape over the top of the tag and I did not put it over the barcode. And in that case, I'm just not going to seal my bag shut, right? Because I want to make it easy for somebody to reach in here and say, okay, what's the situation with these cloth diapers? Oh, these look brand new. I don't think anybody ever even used these. Yeah, I'll buy them, right? We're going to have tons and tons of signs. I've printed 25 actually all over the sale floor that say, hey, like if you want to inspect an item, take it here. If you want to, test an item, if it's an electronic item, take it here so that you can ensure that it's working. That way the shoppers have high confidence in the items that they're buying. It still just helps though to make it easy for them. And so in this case, I do not seal the bag shut so that somebody can quickly and easily check that if they would like to check it. Okay, yellow tags. So if you bring any large items to the sale, high chairs, pack and plays, car seats that have at least 1 year left and have not been in an accident, cribs, baby swings, bicycles, kitchens, benches, like these are all things that you can sell at the sale. Outdoor, like those little tyke slides and play sets. Lots of outdoor stuff. Like for this year, like this season, like outdoor stuff would be great. The radio flyer tricycles, all of those types of things, please bring those to the sale. Those are the types of things that people come to the sale wanting to buy. And then after they've bought those things, they go to clothes and they buy all of your clothes. So we love having those things at the sale because they help us bring in more shoppers who then go and buy all the other stuff that tends to actually make you more money. Because, like one radio flyer bike, you might price it for like, 20, $30. But if you sell 200 pieces of clothes at $3 a piece, right, that's where you make your money. So anyway, if you have a large item like that, you'll get a tag for it. You can attach the tag to the item loosely, like with a zip tie, with a piece of clear tape, something like that. And when you get it to the sale, we will help you remove the tag. We'll cut the tag in half, and then we will reattach a yellow tag to it. And the reason we do this is because those large items stay in large items until they have been purchased. We say if it would be too heavy for a pregnant woman to carry it through the sale, it should probably be in large items, right? So a car seat is going to stay in large items. This is perforated, okay? This is what I do at night, like at midnight, from like midnight to 2 a.m. I like make yellow tags and perforate them. It's so fun. Not every night, but just a couple of nights of the sale season. So this is perforated. They'll tear the claim ticket. They'll take this part up to the register and they'll pay using this part. And then when they're leaving the sale is set up circular in like a giant oval. So as they leave the sale and they come out of the registers, they end up right back at the front door, right next to large items. And one of our large items runners will take their claim ticket and help them get their thing. So that's how we handle those large items, anything that is too big for a pregnant person to carry through a sale. We don't do like a lot of the little baby push walkers and like ride-on toys. They tend to be really lightweight, and so we don't tag most of those things, but pretty much everything else we will tag it. Exercisers, I think I've already given you like most of the examples, some of those heavy items.
They're not large items, and when you say we don't tag them, I mean they're just not in the large items department.
Yeah, so Steven's asking a clarifying question. So things like the little ride-on toys, like my son has like a VTech toy train ride-on toy that he's been riding around on today, like that will sit over in toys, or like the little push walkers, baby doll strollers, things like that. They'll sit over in toys, and usually those are lightweight enough to where we don't put a large items claim tag on them. But any of that heavier stuff will be in the large items section. Most of it is baby gear. There are usually like some large toys, like kitchens is a good example of one, or the like outdoor slides, bicycles, tricycles. And you should bring all of that outdoor stuff this season, because this is the sale to sell it at. This is the season to sell it. People will be shopping for those items. Water tables, any kind of stuff like that. Please bring it to this sale, because we will sell it for sure for you. Okay, so Consignor 101. I think that is good for tonight. I've run over. So thank you for those of you who've stuck with me. Let me just answer a couple of questions. So let me see. Okay. So somebody's asking where to get coat hangers, I think. Yeah, so we highly encourage you to use free supplies. We want you to earn as much money as you can participating in the sale. So you should use what you have on hand. Ask places like Buy Nothing groups are great. Facebook Marketplace is great. Old Navy. Rumors they give hangers away. It's a true thing. They do. And I was just in there trying to get some hangers for one of our valet taggers. And they told me their truck comes on Mondays and Fridays to deliver their inventory. and then that truck takes away any of their old hangers. So you should come Monday morning or Friday morning before the truck comes. She said the truck comes usually like around 11 or noon, or even like Sunday night or Thursday night you could go. That would be the best time to go and get hangers, because like about twice a week, they're sending all of their unused hangers back out to like their central warehouses. So pro tip, insider tip, Old Navy does give away hangers. Target sometimes gives away hangers too. I would call ahead to both those places before, and I bet that they'll put like a big bag aside for you. Sometimes Kohl's, I think, gives away hangers, I've heard too. So those are all places you can look. If you cannot source supplies, we do purchase supplies from a laundry distribution company. And so we purchase in bulk. We purchase like 2,000 coat hangers at a time, and we get the best price that we have been able to find. They run us 15 cents a hanger. So we sell them in 25 packs for $3.75. We also have zip ties, smaller rolls of clear packing tape, safety pins, tagging guns, and cardstock. So I will put a supply order form back up in the Facebook group, because I think this weekend, this Saturday, I think is our last supply meetup. I'm going to double check it, but I'm 99% sure it is. It's from 2 to 4 p.m. at Oakland Yard Athletics in Waterford. I will put the supply order form up, and you're just going to tell me what you need so that I can make sure I bring enough supplies to that supply meetup. Drop-ins are also welcome. We always bring extra, and it just helps me to know who needs what so that I can make sure that I brought enough. And if I have to order any extra before that supply meetup, I can do that too. So that's the deal with supplies. I'll put the supply order form there. It'll have the price for everything. We just charge you our cost because we don't want to like make money on that. We just want to make your life easy. Okay. So let's see. Stephen is highlighting the seller all-in-one place info page, and I highly recommend that you check that resource out. That's a page on our website that I have made for everyone, that has links to all of the documents related to how to prep and prepare for the sale, item limits, no thank yous. It's got our safety and recalls guide in it. All of those types of pieces of information, and they're all individual links kind of broken down into what I like to call chewable chunks so that it's not super overwhelming for you. So like if you're just looking for item limits, there's going to be a link that says this is the document with item limits. Pro tip, it's 10 for everything. We just try to make it easy. 10 is the item limits for limited categories. Mommy Mart, junior girls, maternity, and stuffed animals, which all need to be for donate. The stuffed animals all need to be for donate. So those 4 categories of item, we ask you to only bring 10 of those. No other item limits, no overall item limits. If you bring over 500 items to the sale, we ask you to work 2 of our helper shifts to earn your 70%, because it takes more bodies to get all your stuff on the floor, organized, and then also sorted back out at the end. So we just ask you to share the load, right? Because you've brought a bunch more stuff. It takes more time to take care of your stuff. So no overall item limits, though. You're encouraged to bring as much as you want. And that is an example of one of the info docs that is in this all-in-one place seller info page. You'll find many other info docs in there to give you everything that you need to know related to the sale. And somebody says room decor. What do you want to know about it?
Limits, maybe?
No, there are.
April, Marla.
Yeah. Oh, bedding and decor. Yes, April's right. Yep, bedding and decor 10 as well. So because bedding and decor can easily like turn into a black hole. Yes, it is a limit of 10. Thank you.
Does furniture have to be constructed to sell it?
Stephen is asking me if furniture has to be constructed to sell it. So the main piece of furniture that we'll be selling at the sale would be cribs, and they do have to be assembled. Obviously, you probably can't bring your assembled crib to the sale, so you'll disassemble your crib if you're going to sell one, bring it to the sale, and then we'll help you reassemble it on the floor. We have to have them assembled, and it is a safety rule because, like, if the crib wasn't assembled, we didn't check, that everything was there, and somebody buys it, they get it home, and there's like a missing bolt, and then they put their baby in it. Yeah, it's not good. So yeah, so cribs have to be assembled, right? It's just like one of our safety and quality standards. We assemble them when they're there in the venue. You help us do that, and we'll be happy to sell your crib for you that way.
Do you need any specific large items at this time?
So that is pretty much it for right now. I don't think that there are any other questions coming in. So that's it. Okay. So I am going to put information about the supply meetup, including the date, in the Facebook group now. And I will also put the next Consignor 101 party in the Facebook group so that you know about it. That one will not be us going so much through how to do all these things because it will be pretty close to drop off at the point that we do that. But we will do a really comprehensive what to expect for drop off and answer any last questions because people will be preparing many of their items at that point. Let's just be honest, we all wait to the last minute. No, what happens is there's like we all gather our stuff and get it tagged, and then we all find more stuff to tag. And I promise you, even like when the sale is happening, you're gonna find more stuff to tag. So the tagging site is open all year long, and you can tag anytime, even during the sale for the next season. So, okay, guys, that's it. I wish you all a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon.